Good morning. It is Thursday, August the 20th. I'm Brittany Pacheco. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm still filling in for Todd Duplantis, who is on vacation. But today, because it is Thursday, it's part of our virtual family fun series. And we have two very, very special guests that I'd like to welcome on Up to the Minute. One of them is also timely because tomorrow is our employee recognition luncheon for longtime staffers. And this in particular guest certainly qualifies. I'd like to welcome Dr. Zachary Hodges, who is the president of HCC Northwest. Good morning, Dr. Hodges.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thank you for joining us this morning. And also part of our virtual family fun series, I am very, very excited to welcome communications supervisor Merydith Moore from Space Center Houston. Good morning, Merydith.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
We're certainly excited to have you on the show. We'll actually come talk to you in just a little bit. But first, Dr. Hodges, we're going to start with you since, as I stated before, our employee significance luncheon is tomorrow. And though you are being honored this year for being president for the HCC Northwest College for 25 years, you've actually been here at HCC for much longer. Is that correct?
Yeah, the qualifications for employment were pretty low back then, so I started in the 6th grade. So we'll go with that. 1976, June 1, 1976. It was, I started as really the first campus-based counselor at Houston Community College. We had counselors down at our 22 Watt Drive location, but I was the first campus-based and started over at Health Careers for the summer and then moved over to our first day campus out in the Cy-Fair district.
Wow, that's incredible. I keep hearing about WA Drive, and it's hard to believe that, we've evolved from just that one location on WA Drive to, pretty much all across the city of Houston. And Northwest certainly holds a large number of our students. I understand that your journey to the road of being college president was not really a straight path. You did have several twists and turns, and can you talk about that journey?
Yeah, the first thing I'd say is that, Houston Community College has been really good to me, and I think I've been good to Houston Community College. And HCC's given me lots of opportunities for professional growth. I've always been the kind of guy that's worked outside his job description, that saw other opportunities in the community or in the network or for changes within the organization. HCC's always respected that. And also my pathway was from counselor to a campus administrator. Then I moved over to the Spring Branch campus as a campus administrator. Then we decentralized our broke into colleges, and I became Dean of Students at the Northwest College. Margaret Ford Fisher was Dean of Instruction, so she's been a longtime colleague as well. HCC also supported me in a number of professional development activities. The ACE Fellowship, which is the premier leadership fellowship in the country. And when Dr. Charles Green was chancellor, who also appointed me as the acting president, set up, maybe we went through an application process. I was selected for that. It was really a transformational year where I could see myself being a college president at that point in time. And it was a wonderful experience. And then I've continued on in other networks, and I've continued on thinking outside the box and dreaming big, and done that as president for 25 years.
And along the way, you've had a natural curiosity that helped with some innovations for the college, because you just said thinking outside of the box. Talk about the dual credit courses with Katy High School.
Well, what dual credit started back when Margaret Ford and I were both deans. And we were on the very front end of dual credit in the state of Texas. We started at Cy-Fair ISD and Spring Branch ISD, and then expanded into Katy. I went out to Katy in 1979 and visited with the principal and said, we want to teach them after, there was one high school, Katy High School. We want to teach some dual credit courses out here, and he said, let's go for it. And then as another point, I said, you know what, I really like this community. And so we ended up moving to Katy in 1979, and then have been in Katy, West Houston all those years. So it's funny how things work out. Also, I don't know what business I had going out to Katy and offering to offer, starting dual credit courses, but that's what I did. It's been successful.
Absolutely. And I mean, not only do we offer dual credit courses with Katy High School, but now we've flourished, of course, throughout the city of Houston with several high schools, and also within the internal community. I'm sure with this initiative, I mean, we work hard and also make sure our trustees and chancellors are very proud of the work that we do. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Again, I've always felt supported by HCC, by the board, by the chancellor. I like to describe it as I've always done a good job of managing up. I think all of my bosses have seen me as someone of integrity who would have the best interest of HCC in mind.
Absolutely. And I think some of the accomplishments at Northwest that make us all proud, and I know they have to make you proud, Dr. Hodges, are our partnerships. So talk a little bit about all of the partnerships ranging from the different universities, Goldman Sachs, and our West Houston Institute.
Well, first of all, I want to make sure I get this in. The smartest thing I ever did was hire great people and then create a culture in which they could thrive. And as a result of that, all of these partnerships have developed. I guess I could get to take credit for it as president, but our Texas A&M Engineering Academy, where you're jointly enrolled at A&M at our Spring Branch campus. We're launching this fall, our Cullen College of Engineering, U of H engineering partnership at Katy. And we're excited about that. We have 25 students. That's been so successful. The very first one was UT Tyler, in which I invited them in to create junior and senior level courses and the Houston Engineering Center for UT Tyler. And that really started us off. Another idea I had, we had a group, a non-profit group, come to me and say, we want to do something for economic development. And we came up with the idea of a business plan competition, which has evolved into the Goldman Sachs program. And the backbone of this country is small business development. And I was really happy to be a leader to begin with and understand that entrepreneurs teach entrepreneurs, and to have all kinds of mentors from the community. And now David Regenbaum is our entrepreneur in residence, and we have renamed our Center for Entrepreneurship the Glenda and David Regenbaum Center for Entrepreneurship Northwest, thanks to a very significant contribution. I always saw networking outside of the college, raising the profiles of college as a critical part of my job. And I've thoroughly enjoyed both the internal and the external parts of working as a college president.
Absolutely. And I understand that you actually fought for the name for the West Houston Institute, which is also known as WHI.
Well, yeah, that's, it's interesting. What a great facility. Anyone watching this, if you haven't toured it, we had a great creative team that created that. There's a long history. That's another story. We'll do that another time. But yeah, I thought West Houston Institute is the right name for that. And people downtown would say, well, you can't do an institute. I said, yeah, I think you can. So I guess they just kind of gave up and said, well, I guess we can. So that's what it became. And somebody got $1 million or $2 or $3 million, we'll be happy to rename it. But in the meantime, it's the West Houston Institute. And so proud of the work that creative committee under Butch Harrod's direction, the concept they've come up with. It's on the cutting edge of higher education. And one thing I'm always advocating is pushing the envelope on the new student in a new reality of the 21st century. Real focus on active learning. Our new Katy campus is going to be like an instructional playground where students can work in teams and create things. So real excited about that new project as well.
Active learning and student engagement is always at the core for HCC. Dr. Hodges, what would you say is your secret to success?
The secret to my success is, I think, taking advantage of the opportunity. You know, I knew I wanted to be a college president. I didn't know that I would be able to stay here for 25 years and make a significant contribution to our community. You know, I just followed I followed my soul as far as, you know, this is a job that touches my soul, and I'm one of the lucky people that get to do what they love, and so I think that kind of passion shows with my fellow employees, and but it's definitely a job that I love and is just the perfect job for me. So I'm glad I've had a lot of opportunities to go other places and never could find a better place than Houston Community College.
And I would think too, Dr. Hodges, that hiring talented people, as you stated before, help create that environment in which everyone can thrive and grow would also be part of your secret to success, correct?
Let me say this, I'm the head cheerleader for our college. And there's nothing I like better than to walk around the campuses. Can't do that right now, but I will before long. Walk around the campuses and see faculty and students and staff performing and wanting to be there and having a love for the institution and just doing incredible work. So that's my favorite thing to do. People will tell you I'm on the campuses, walking around, talking to people all the time. I know it's important, but it's what I love to do.
Oh, that's great, Dr. Hodges. Dr. Zachary Hodges, the president for HCC Northwest College, we thank you for your time visiting with us today. I know Todd will be sorry he missed you.
I know. I'll see him on down the road.
All right, Dr. Hodges, thank you so much and have a great morning.
Bye.
And moving on to Space Center Houston with Merydith Moore, the communications supervisor. Welcome again to our Thursday virtual Family Fun Day. And we're looking forward to finding out what Space Center Houston has been doing since the shelter in place and beyond. But first, I want to ask what it was like for you and your staff a couple weeks ago when the SpaceX Crew splashdown was all over the news, because that was huge.
You're right. That was just such a phenomenal event. In fact, we were really excited because this summer was really historic for a lot of space milestones, and we got to celebrate that again, being open and welcome guests out to experience it together. And so the Dm2 launch, you know, when we launched the 2 astronauts from U.S. soil for the first time since 2011 was a major milestone for everyone. We actually got to have a splashdown viewing party at Space Center Houston when they returned safely. And, you know, missions, they're not complete until everyone returns back to the ground safely. And so that was phenomenal. We're really glad to see our space fans join us again.
That is so cool. I know one of the things that now lives at Space Center is the Endeavor, if I'm not mistaken, and that was really cool to watch fly over the city and make its home at Space Center Houston. So I'm sure that's an equally amazing experience for the watch party to experience.
You're right. We have a lot of flown artifacts. And while we don't have Endeavor, we do have a flown shuttle carrier aircraft with, even better, a shuttle replica mounted on top, which means we can take our guests inside both vehicles, the shuttle and the shuttle carrier aircraft. And going back to your point on the launch this summer, we're the only place in the world you can come out now and see a flown SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket.
That is cool. Thank you for the correction.
Yeah.
I also understand that Space Center Houston is now open. So how are your operations different since you've reopened?
Well, we're so excited to welcome guests back, and we were working really hard during our temporary closure back in March. And so we continue to offer a lot of virtual content that's still available now. And I think we're going to talk more about that later, but we reopened with an enhanced guest experience and additional health and safety measures. We really want you to come out and feel safe and feel a part of human space exploration and have fun while doing it.
Of course. I mean, space is just a fascinating subject in general. And for someone who, like me, was an arts major, science and math and things like that, just, really don't interest me. But to have the visuals right there in front of you to experience all this fascinating world around us is really cool. Tell us about the new NASA Tram tour. It has a new virtual boarding pass, which sounds really cool. And how does that enhance the guest experience?
So we reopened with a lot of new improvements. And so while we have advanced time tickets, so you can actually book your reservation online, so you know exactly the date and time you can come. And that allows us to stagger entry and really, we're open with limited capacity and ample space for social distancing. And the NASA Tram tour, it's one of the most popular things you can see and do when you come. You can download the free Space Center Houston mobile app. And that'll give you, when you arrive on site, the opportunity to book your tram tour and get a virtual boarding pass. So, there's no more waiting in lines. When you arrive with your time ticket, you go right through our touchless entry, and then you can book your time on the tram tour. And it's a really great way to plan your day and then see everything else the center has to offer. So you get a notification on your phone when it's time for you to board about 15 minutes before, and then you ease right through and board the tram.
That sounds amazing. That reminds me of how operations work at Disney when you schedule a time to make sure you can get on a specific ride and you can kind of just jump that line. We mentioned before the show began, Merydith, that while many years ago I was in 5th grade, we actually got to experience what's now what you called a camp out, where students had the opportunity to spend the night at Space Center Houston and just get to experience that during the night, and then just up close and personal without all the other guests. But you all have basically the camp out, but virtual campouts on a monthly basis, and that allows people to still explore Space Center Houston virtually. So talk about that.
You're right. And some of those evenings at the museum are some of the most memorable things you'll have. And we really want that to, drive curiosity and get people even more excited about space and how they can be a part of it. But you're right. You can camp out or camp in at Space Center Houston. So we're offering those in-person experiences with limited capacity, and tents are actually spaced out on the lawn underneath the shuttle carrier aircraft and the space shuttle. And you can even camp out by our new Falcon 9 rocket. But we're also offering those virtually. So if you're, anywhere in the world, you can go online to spacecenter.org and you can camp out virtually with us. In fact, we're having our very next one this Saturday, August 22nd at 6 p.m. And it's actually free. We're making it accessible to anyone virtually. It's pay what you can, if you can, and we'll bring science to your backyard. So if you have a tent, you can take that to the backyard, camp under the stars with your family, and we'll do the science instruction and guide you through that from your home.
That sounds amazing. If only I could do that here at my apartment, but apartment. Talk about your new permanent exhibit and what can guests expect from that?
Sure. So we reopened with a wealth of new experiences. One of the biggest, literally, is the new Falcon 9 flown rocket. And it's a permanent exhibit set outside Space Center Houston. So when you arrive now, I think you'll just be blown away by its splendor. And the enormous flown Falcon 9 lives at Space Center Houston. It's more than 150 feet long. It's raised horizontal, 14 feet up in the air, and our guests get to walk underneath it and all around it and explore the really spacious grounds at Space Center Houston. And that flown rocket was used twice And it was the first time in 2017 that NASA reused a rocket for a resupply mission to the International Space Station. And we saw astronauts over the summer actually go to the International Space Station by way of a Falcon 9 rocket. And you get to see that rocket, one of those rockets, used in a space mission at Space Center Houston.
That sounds so cool. Oh my gosh, I cannot wait to go back to Space Center. It's literally been since I was in fifth grade since I've last visited. But you all offer so much, and it's something for everyone to enjoy. One last thing before we sign off with you, Merydith, is a new certification we noticed in your email signature that Space Center Houston is the world's first autism certified science center. That's amazing.
That's right. And we live and breathe, science, space exploration, and we want everyone to be a part of the STEM pathway. And we offer, tailored programs for people of all ages and all learning abilities. And we offer, for instance, a Space Center University program that's tailored to the visually impaired. We also have been a great destination for guide dogs for the blind to come and have a socialization outing. We work deeply with the Autism Foundation as well, and Alzheimer's Association. And we want, people, if you're on the spectrum, if you have any kind of learning ability, to be a part of space exploration, really find where you fit in. And there are ample STEM career jobs available, and there's those out there that could suit maybe one that you're interested in. It's important for us to make space accessible to everyone.
What an amazing initiative, and incredible to know that Space Center Houston is doing anything and everything to include everybody all across the board. Merydith Moore, thank you so much for joining us again from Space Center Houston. What a great topic to discuss with you this morning, and best of luck with everything going on back there, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Thank you. We hope to have you out. Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
Thank you, you too.
And now moving on to events and announcements at HCC. First and foremost, Up to the Minute will be delayed tomorrow morning for convocation. Since we are celebrating our very first virtual convocation this Friday, August 21st, Up to the Minute will be delayed by an hour. And so we will air at 11 a.m. tomorrow after convocation. For more information on convocation, go to hccs.edu/convocation. The Black History Committee is presenting its first virtual scholarship breakfast showcase this month with a new way to support college students with music, games, and door prizes. Sounds like fun. To register, we will put that link in this post, but this is happening Wednesday, August 26th at 9 a.m. You can also donate. We'll also include that link in this post to donate for the Black History Committee virtual scholarship breakfast showcase. Students who are looking for assistance for enrolling at HCC or have any other questions, utilize the virtual lobby, where Student Services has live enrollment and advising help to you via a virtual Zoom room, a callback option, and email. No appointment is necessary. Now, I will put a little disclaimer out there, everyone. We're literally days before our semester begins. So if you are trying to get in touch with someone, please expect some delays. Our staff are working tirelessly to make sure that students are getting their questions answered. So be sure to pack some patience. We do appreciate that at this time. Also, we have extended hours to support all of you. Monday through Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., Fridays from 8 a.m. to 5, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 1. Visit hccs.edu/virtual lobby for more info. And calling all students, international and domestic, if you're looking for tuition assistance, be sure to apply for the HCC Foundation Scholarship application. It's free money to help you with your college education. And coming from a former recipient, I can tell you it makes all the difference in the world. But be sure to apply before the deadline. That is Monday, August 31st. If you're interested, head over to hccsfoundation.org/scholarships. HCC is also doing their part to make sure that you have access to free COVID-19 drive-through testing. We have 4 locations available to you, 2 of which require no appointment. Our Felix Fraga campus and East Side campus, located in the southeast part of Houston, are open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Again, no appointment is necessary for our southeast locations. The other locations that do require an appointment are our northeast campus and our south campus. We will be sure to throw up graphics here so that you can get this great information. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. To make an appointment, be sure to call the number on the graphic, 512-883-2400. And we're about to wrap this morning's Up to the Minute. Tomorrow, Friday, again, we'll be delayed by an hour. So join us tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. with Donald Cooper, the campus manager of Acres Homes. He's also on the Black History Committee, and he'll be here to discuss its first virtual scholarship breakfast showcase that's happening next week. And it wouldn't be Friday if we weren't welcoming back our resident poet, Dr. Jimmy Adams. He's also our college operations officer for HCC Northeast, and he'll be here to share his latest poem to us. Thank you, everyone, for joining us on today's Up to the Minute. Be sure to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget about our YouTube channel, where you can find thousands of videos produced by our very own HCCTV and Stafford METV. And be sure to hit that notification bell so you can be the first to find out the latest uploads from us. And once again, we always appreciate everyone who shares this podcast so that we can grow our audience, but also share this great information to the masses. Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning, Friday at 11 a.m.